welcome to another segment of Kimberly and Knit for Brains. And I have been remiss, and I'm sorry. I wanted to do my work in progress Wednesday, show you what I've got going on. The last one that I did was I finished up the Afghan, the Mosaic Crochet Indiana Afghan by Tina. And I had to just bust that out because I had friends that I was giving that to, and I needed to make sure I got that out. And then after that was over with, I just needed to go sit in a corner in a fetal position for a little bit and recoup. So this was a project that kind of fell by the wayside because I wanted to finish the other one. And this is and I'm really excited about this. This one is going to be mine. It's for me. This is the Temperature Cal. And it's from TLYC. What's different, I've always wanted to do a temperature cal, always. What I really liked about this one is, number one, it has one of my favorite stitches, which is the linen stitch, which is one of the easiest stitches to do. And yet I think it has one of the most impressive looks. It kind of looks woven. I've done some scarves with it, and it's just beautiful. And so I was really excited when this project came along. And number one, the second thing that I really love is that it is a square, a granny square. So it's a little bit different than your typical temperature cal, which really intrigued me and why I really wanted to get this thing going. So this is my 2022 temperature cal. This is my January square. So each square has 33 rows. And what I'm doing is I am using the Wool Ease cakes by Lion Brand. I have 4 different Wool Ease cakes. I think there's 4. And each one has anywhere between like 9 and 10 different colors inside of it. So I liked it because they all complemented each other. And I also have, if you've seen my stash, I have a lot of cakes. And I also liked it because this is a weight of 3. So it's a little bit lighter. When you get a weight of 4, and you're making an Afghan and you live in Southern California, it's a little too heavy. So I really wanted a weight of 3, and I loved these colors, and they were in my stash, so that's what I'm doing. So I'm using the Lion Brand, and what you do is you assign the color to the different temperatures. So I go to AccuWeather, and I can look up every day, but I can also look like at past dates. And so what I've done is I just recorded it. So this was my January square, which is pretty cool. And obviously you can see we had some warm months in there. And we started with some cool, we went warm, then we went back to cool. So California, especially like in January, February, March, April, May, June. I know, it's crazy. We have some wonky weather. Believe it or not, we don't have the most beautiful weather everybody thinks that we have. We have the June gloom, we've got the May gray, we've got the April showers. I think this week it's supposed to be like 73 today, and then tomorrow it's supposed to be 90 something. That's a huge jump in temperature. It's gonna look really cool on my Afghan though. So this is January. I am behind. This is my March square. So I'm working. What's also nice about this is if you do fall behind, it's not too difficult to get to catch up. So this is my March square, and it is going to take a little bit of blocking. But as you can see, the colors are complementing, but they're also going to be a little bit different, which is really just cool. I really like this. I think one of the hardest things for me about this in particular was there was no direction on the specific number of stitches per row. There are 33 rows. But if you're not careful, you could miss a stitch or add a stitch as you're doing the linen stitch. So just be careful about that. Or if you know how many stitches, just maybe make a little notation on your side notes. But as you can see, it's got this really cool, they call it the linen stitch. Some people also call it the moss stitch. It is one of the easiest, simplest stitches. If I've got someone who I'm teaching to learn how to crochet, I usually start with something like this because it's just a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1. And then in the next row, you do a single crochet wherever there's a chain 1, and you just alternate. So you get this really cool kind of a woven pattern, but when you're using the different colors, they line up with each other. And so you get that really neat contrast in them. So this is my March. These are the colors that I'm using. So for my really cool months, I'm doing the Wool Ease. This is the Bedazzled. So this is more for my October, November, December months. All right. Then I'm rolling into the Forever Young. So I'm using a lot of this right now. And these are a lot of the peaches and some purples and apricots, and not a little bit dark, you know, not quite as dark as this, but a nice transition into. Then I'm also using this. This is Meadow. And obviously it's got the greens and the blues, which is neat how it really brought in that contrast in here for the warmer days. And then this one here is the Strawberry Shortcake, and this is going to be more for my summer months. So my summer colors, you're going to see a lot of this going on. But right now I'm seeing a lot of these two colors going on. And I haven't really used a lot of this. Actually, I don't think I've used any of this yet. This will be more in my fall colors. So then you'll start to see these colors coming along, which I think are really pretty transitions. So if you haven't watched my other videos, here's what I'm doing. So this is what it looks like. And I've copied this right off of Tony's website. Actually, there was a pattern that goes along with it. So January, February, you know, and there's 12 squares, and then each square has 33 rows. Now, if a month is short, maybe it has 28 days or something like that, then what you do is you just add a border to equal out those 33 days. So it gives you this nice contrast where you can see the squares begin and end. So this one had 2 rows of the white, and then I'll do whatever I need to do on this one and so forth. One thing Tony did make mention is that my birthday is in the month of September, and she did some really cool funky colors that matched her mood, kind of whatever she wanted to do for her birthday month. So I'm going to do that as well. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to do something really kind of funky and cool. So basically, and then what I did here is I just copied down the colors. So because we don't have, we don't get into the really, really cold temperatures, we get more into the hotter temperatures, I changed up the temperature ranges for the different colors. So, for instance, when it's 45 to 51, 45 is about as cold as it gets historically. I looked that up. 45 to 51, I'm using Bedazzled, and then 52 to 57. So basically from 45 to 57, I'm using Bedazzled. But again, it's because there's so many color variations in this. So I just choose the color to use to match up with that temperature. And then from 58 all the way up to 69, then I start using the Forever Young, this guy. And from 70 all the way up to 87, quite a big change, I'm using Meadow. So there's probably going to be some squares that are going to just be this, which is going to be cool. Then I go from 88 to 95 and above, the Strawberry Shortcake. This fun kind of reminded me of summer. So that's what I'm doing. And then what I did was I created an Excel spreadsheet, which starts, well, it's here, for instance. And so I have the days of 1 through 30, I believe it is. And then, and I have the different months that I wrote down here. And then I just document whatever that temperature was. And if you go to AccuWeather, it'll give you an average, the high, the low, the whatever. So I don't worry about what the high was in the evening and what the low was in the morning. I just look at what the average is, and it gives you that one number. So that's why I just go ahead and I put in here. Now, here's the tricky thing. And this is where some people who are true, authentic temperature cow people might cringe, and I apologize ahead of time. Some people will make up like a color chart or these little cards where you attach the colors so you know exactly what color you want to use for the different temperatures. Because I'm using these variegations, and because they're all in these self-striping rather, and because they're all in these cakes, I'm not going to take them apart individually and do that just for that little color card. So what I do is when I start using the color, I pull it out and I wind it into a ball, all right? And that's how I get my colors. Now what I can do is I can look back and say, okay, so today I need to use 68, for instance. And I look back and see when I use 68 again, whether it was in my January square or in my February square, and I match that color, and then I find it in here. That's how I'm doing it. The bottom line, the point is that you really want to have some good contrast to give some interesting dimension to your squares. So I really try to match it up to what I did before, or something as close there. But you can see there's some good contrast. Now there's a couple days that you might find where the temperature is the same. So in that case, you just use the same color for those 2 rows, those 2 days, or whatever it's going to be. But all in all, I'm loving this square. Interestingly enough, when you get these cakes and when you buy them, I don't know, on clearance or something like that, I don't really know what I'm going to do with it. And I don't know if I'm going to put them all together. Usually when I buy them, it's not my intention or my thought to use all those colors together. But I am doing that in this instance, and I'm really liking the outcome. As you can see, there's just some, you can see it's the same yarn. It has a really, really nice feel. It's called Wool Ease. It is 80% acrylic and 20% wool, which is great. So it's an easy wash up, and it's also going to be nice and light, not too warm for our Southern California weather. And it lays really nice. It just has that kind of a good draping when you think of linen. So I think this is a good choice for this yarn. But I wouldn't have originally thought to put these colors together when I bought them. So I think it's a great idea, theme, to use all these colors together because it's all the same weight, and it just has a super cool feel to it. So I'm going to keep showing you this, and I'll do another video. I've done a couple little tiny projects that I had for friends and some clients that I needed to finish and get done, one of which was really interesting. So I'll do a little video on that. It was a barrel for her St. Bernard's as like a poop bag, you know, when you take your dog for a walk. Sort of kind of cool. It's pretty random. It's pretty specific, but who knows? Maybe somebody out there has a St. Bernard or has a friend who has one, or maybe you just want to make that poop bag for your dog. So I'll show you that pattern as well. But this, again, is my temperature cal. The pattern is by Tony Lipsy, TLYC, Tony Lipsy Yarn Crafts. And I'll include the link to the cal and the pattern below. I will include the link. This is the Wool Ease Lion brand. Now, unfortunately, when you buy these yarns on clearance, they are usually retired. So they're sort of hard to find at times. My thought is when you see it, just buy it and go for it. I'm trying to find the price tag on these because I think I bought these at Joann's. I did. Probably a couple years ago. And these were on clearance, and they were marked down at $3.97 a skein. And I think they were even like another 40% down from that. I think it was a really screaming good deal. So I kind of bought up everything they had at that time. But you might be able to find these on maybe Amazon or one of your secondary markets, maybe Etsy, eBay, if you really, really love these colors. But they're still making, the Lion brand still makes this yarn, maybe not just in these exact colors. But I am actually a big fan of the Wool Ease line. Honestly, I'm just a big fan of Lion brand in general. I really love their yarns. They have great prices, good mass market company, family owned, that sort of thing. So anyways, follow along, stay with me as I work through my temperature cal. It's going to take a full year, obviously, to get through it, but it's a nice, you know, like I can do one row. Once I catch up, I'll do one row a night, and then I can go and work on something else. So it's nice to kind of see you only got to do one row, and then you move it aside, and then you can do something else. And so it's an easy project to kind of stay on top of. So please comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Have you done a temperature cal? And if so, what did you do? What was your favorite? What kind of pattern was it? I've seen them with Tunisian. I've seen them in knitting. I've seen them in all different ways. I've even seen them with weaving. So I'd love to know the stitch, what kind of fiber you used. Give me ideas. I was really excited when I found this one, but I've always wanted to do one. So that's it for this week. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains, signing off, my lovelies. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. I love comments, so keep them coming. And I promise I'll try to keep up with my video content as well. Thanks so much. Make it a great day.